Hi everyone, good morning. Let us study another lesson today. We have learned lesson number 1. I hope you have studied it, revised it. If there is any doubt regarding, let me know it. I will surely clarify. We are coming to lesson number 2. That is, every success story is also a story of great failures. Okay, every success story is also a story of great failures. See, what does it mean? See, every success story, success and failures are a part of life. So we have to learn lessons from them and move on. So this is written by, a great motivational speaker. See, in the first lesson we saw our Nick Ujicic was a motivational speaker. Here again we see Shiv Khera, the author of this essay. Shiv Khera, he is an Indian author, activist and motivational speaker. Shiv Khera, who is he? An Indian author, an activist and a motivational speaker, just like our Nick Ujicic. Yes. So born in 1961. He was born in the year 1961, which means just 59 years old now. Okay now. So we can expect many more speeches and essays from him like this. So this essay, it gives us hope to continue the efforts till we reach the goal or motto. So it is a motivational essay. It gives us hope, inspiration and hope to continue, working hard. The quality of perseverance that we saw in the first lesson. Okay now? Yes. So it gives us hope to continue our work until we reach our motto or goal. Is it not so? Yes. So let us come to the lesson. Every success story. So whatever success story that we see, there are also stories of great failures. Failures also are there in every success story. We will understand it clearly when we see, the examples given there in the lesson. Let's come to the lesson. Take page number 14. Failure is a highway to success. The highway, the road to success is to meet with the failures. See, for example, our own life we can see now. A small child, how does he learn to walk? Whenever he tries, he will fall down. The more number of times he falls, the earlier and easier he learns how to walk. Is it not so? First he will fail, he will fall down, he will try again and again. Then he will be successful. The more number of times he falls, the earlier he achieves his goal. So failure is a highway to success. To achieve success, we have to meet with the failures. Tom Watson Sr. said, a great US American businessman. He was a great American businessman. Who was he? Tom Watson Sr. He said, what did he say? Failure is the highway. The road to success is to meet with the failures. If you want to succeed, if you want to be successful, the only way is to double your failure rate. The more number of times you fail, the more successful you become. Yes, the only way to success is to meet with the failures. The only way to success is to meet with the failures. If you study history, the story goes on. If you study history, you will find that all stories of success. Take history. You find all stories of success are also stories of great failures. Wherever there is success, there is failure too. But people don't see the failures. People do not see what all failures they really did meet with or they met with. They only see one side of the picture. People see, the public, the people, they see only one side of the picture. And they say the person got lucky. They may say, oh, he was lucky, that is why. He must have been at the right place and at the right time. People might say, he must have been at the right place and at the right time means he was completely lucky enough to be successful. The only reason behind his success is luck. People might say. They do not see the number of times he failed, the number of efforts he had undertaken to meet with that success. People never see that. People only would say, oh, he was lucky. He was at the right place and at the right time. People might say. Take for example, let me share someone's life history with you. This was a man who failed in business at the age of 21. This man failed in business when he was only 21. Was defeated in a legislative race at the age of 22. He was defeated in an legislative election. Is it not so? At the age of 22. Failed again in business at the age of 24. Overcame the death of his sweetheart at the age of 26. Yes, death of his sweetheart, his wife. She died at the age of 26. Had a nervous breakdown at the age of 27. Nervous breakdown. See, very rarely happens now. It can happen. For some it can happen slowly. They may go into depression, etc. and all. They have no way of hope or success or continuation, no meaning. Then they may face a nervous breakdown. It may come slowly also. For example, in a class, suppose someone is not that good in studies, all will isolate him. He does not get enough friends. His friends also are not bothering him or caring him or allow him to join their company. Teachers always scold, parents always scold. They compare him with someone who is studying very nicely in the neighborhood. He feels life as a hell. He slowly begins to feel some kind of, nervous tension, what to do, no idea what to do. Life has become a question mark. He may face a nervous breakdown. Another reason I will tell you. For example, you are going for your public examination, first examination. Your father takes you in the exam center. You go there and maybe imagine that your exam hall is on the first floor. You go there, you reach the veranda and your father standing downstairs and you bid farewell to your father. You can see your father returning home in his car and you just turn and you go and enter into that exam hall. You take a look at your writing pad. Hall ticket missing. What to do? Hall ticket missing. Suddenly you jump out again and see whether your father is still there. No, you see the father has gone. You can see his car turning the bend of the road. He has gone, disappeared. You again jump into the exam hall to find someone familiar. Nobody is there, only strange students from other schools and all. No familiar faces there. What to do next? Oh, you may feel a nervous breakdown. Isn't it so? Yes. So it can happen. Okay now. So he met with a nervous breakdown at the age of, at the age of 27. So he met with a nervous breakdown at the age of 27. Lost a congressional race at the age of 34. American Congress. The Parliament of America is known as Congress. In India we call it Parliament. In America it is called Congress. It has two chambers. House of Representatives and Senate. House of Representatives a lower house, Senate is upper house. But not like your Rajya Sabha, Senate is very, very powerful. Only 100 members are there, which means 50 states, each state having 2 members only. All state equal number of members in Senate. They are very powerful. It is more powerful than a minister here. Why? Because money bill can be only introduced in Senate. Even the Senate can control the President of America, who is directly elected by the people. Okay now. So very powerful a chamber is Senate. I said no. House of Representatives and Senate. American Congress. Same as Parliament of America. Okay. Congressional race. Where is it? At the age of 34. Lost a senatorial race. A senatorial race. He tried to become a member of senatorial race at the age of 45. Failed in an effort to become vice president at the age of 47. So, president and vice president. President will be there. He will have a vice president to take charge of the post of vice president when if he is elected. If only he is elected. Yes, at the age of 47. Lost a senatorial race at the age of 49. And was elected President of America at the age of 52. This man was Abraham Lincoln. It is none other than Abraham Lincoln. Yes. So from the age of 21 at the age of 52, he met with failures and only failures. But he was not disappointed. He was not discouraged. See, for any other man, he would think, I failed assembly election, I failed Rajya Sabha election, Lok Sabha election, I will stop standing for election at all. He would be discouraged. He was never, Lincoln was never discouraged. He went on, and he became the President of America. The most powerful man in the whole world is the President of America. The most powerful country in the world is America, no doubt. So, he became successful at the end. So, let us continue. Would you call him a failure? Can you say that this man was a failure because he failed a good number of times? From the age of 21 up to the age of 52, there were only failures. Even the present President of America, Biden, he also met with so many failures. But no time to discuss those things, So let us see the story of Abraham Lincoln. Can you call him a failure? No. He would have quit. Any man would have quit had it been in his place. But to Abraham Lincoln, defeat was a detour and not a dead end. Yes, according to him, according to Abraham Lincoln, defeat was a detour, means deviation. Changing from the main path, not a final dead end, final failure. No, final destination. According to Lincoln, defeat was only a deviation from the main path, not a dead end. So, final destination. So, you can find when you go to a place, many small roads would be there. Some road would lead to some other road, but some road will end. Isn't it so? Yes, destination. No more road will be there. So, defeat was only a detour, means a deviation, not a final end or ultimate end or ultimate destination. According to him, defeat was only a deviation, not a dead end. According to our Lincoln, one of the greatest presidents of America, Abraham Lincoln. So, the point we have laid is that the failure is a highway to success. The more number of times you fail, surely you will be reaching very easily to your destination or your motto or goal. Once go through that part, 2 minutes or 1 minute just to go through it. Let us move on. So what we should learn from the story of Abraham Lincoln is this: defeat was a detour and not a dead end. This line can be given, it was given several times, and two questions will be asked. See, why it is so. Though he met with failure several times in his life, he was not discouraged. For him, what is that? See, what is that? Failure was the highway to success. Let's go. Would you? Okay. In 1913, Lee Forest. Full details given at the other side of the lesson. See it. The inventor of Trios tube, you might have heard of that. Full details there. Sorry, we have no time to discuss. Lee Forest and his inventions. You see, we have to complete this lesson if possible. Was charged by the district attorney. Attorney means advocate. Okay, a lawyer. For using fraudulent means deceiving, cheating methods to mislead the public. So, misleading, the public into buying stocks of his company, the shares of his company, by claiming that he could transmit human voice across Atlantic. He claimed that human voice can be transmitted across Atlantic. Yes, now we know that now we can make a phone call in seconds to someone who is in America, the other side of the globe. At that time it was not possible. So he claimed that he can transmit sound waves across Atlantic. He was publicly humiliated, shamed, humiliated. Can you imagine where would we be without his invention? Had his invention not been there, where would have gone the mankind? See, the science has improved a lot. So it was a turning point, an important mark in the history of scientific inventions. So had it not been there, where we would have reached, even now we have to think twice. Yes. So once again, see that Lee Forest, the inventor of the Trios tube, which is a turning point in the history of science, was charged by the district attorney. Yes, he was charged for using cheating methods, fraudulent means to mislead the public. He was accused of misleading the public into buying stocks of his company. Yes, he persuaded his people to buy shares of his company by claiming that he would be able to transmit what? Human voice across Atlantic. For the first time, he claimed that he would be able to transmit human voice across the Atlantic. He was publicly humiliated, ashamed, humiliated. Can you imagine where we would be without his invention? Let us go on, the story goes on. A New York Times editorial on December 10, 1903 questioned the wisdom of Wright brothers. You know, Wright brothers who invented an aeroplane. The wisdom, is it reasonable? Their wisdom was questioned. Who were trying to invent a machine heavier than air, that is not so heavy. It can fly in the sky, in the air. That would fly. They were inventing a machine that would fly. During that time, it was unimaginable. When, 1903, yes, 1 week later, at Kitty Hawk, the Wright brothers took their famous first flight, the invention of aeroplane. Yes, see, the turning point of our flight is not so a very important incident that was there with the invention of aeroplane in the year 1903. The story goes on. Colonel Sanders at the age of 65. Yes, he was 65. With a beat-up car. Beat-up means, become uses out of overuse. Broken or overuse. This is a worn-out car. Very old. And, $100 check from Social Security. In America and our Social Security is there. That means once you get old, they will take care of you. Your medical expenditure and all expenditure will be taken care of. So Social Security gave him $100. He remembered his mother's recipe, Colonel Sanders, when he retired from the force, from the army maybe. Okay, so what he had only was a $100 check. Then he remembered his mother's recipe. Recipe, how to prepare a kind of food recipe. And went out selling. He wanted to sell this recipe. That means he was willing to prepare it if orders are given. So he approached many people to give some orders. How many doors did he have to knock on before he got his first order? He went and requested many people, I have a recipe, wonderful recipe. Is it not so? I would prepare it if you give me an order. So I am collecting orders so that I can prepare it and distribute. It is estimated that he had knocked on more than 1,000 doors, not to one or two, more than 1,000 doors he knocked, which means he approached so many people. At the end, he got his first order. Before he got his first order, he had to knock thousands of doors to get the first order. How many of us quit? We would have quit. We leave it. We throw that program out and stop attempting again and again. After 3 tries, 10 tries, trying 3 times, 10 times, or 100 tries, trying 100 times, we would stop trying at all. And then we say we tried hard as we could. Yes. Then we would say that we tried hard as we could and we would stop. Do you know Colonel Sanders and his famous food? See, Kentucky Fried Chicken, KFC. Even now it is there, so wonderful. Chicken, fried chicken. Okay, KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken. Yes, that is a business. Okay, so he got the first order, then he got many orders, he was preparing many kinds of food, and he prepared this Kentucky Fried Chicken. It became, successful, and his business empire grew up into a vast international, business empire. And one of the very rare successful, businessman now he is. The business has become so successful even in 21st century. As a young cartoonist, Walt Disney, Walt Disney, we are going to see, faced many rejections for a newspaper editors. He faced many rejections as a cartoonist, which means his cartoons were rejected. Though he approached many, he drew many cartoons, people did not accept it. Newspaper editors who said he had no talent. They said, you have no talent. One day, a minister at a church hired him to draw some cartoons. See, just now I remember, have you heard of, the great singer Yeshudas? Yes. So, when he was young, he tried in many places to get a chance to sing. All India Radio rejected him more than twice. At the time, it was in Chennai. He had no money to reach Chennai. He collected money from many people, donations and all to reach Chennai. And he attempted to get a job there. He sang there also, and they told, your sound is not good enough for singing. Now he is one of the greatest singers of India, Yeshudas. Have you heard of him? So many languages he sang. Malayalam, Tamil, Telugu, Hindi. Yes, a good number of songs. But he was rejected more than once, even by All India Radio, telling that your sound is not good for singing. You go for some other job. Many other experiences are there like that. Okay, na? Examples are there, a good number of, lot of examples are there who were rejected many a time, and at the end they became successful. Some examples that we see here. Okay, na? As a young cartoonist, Walt Disney faced many rejections from newspaper editors who said he had no talent. They told him, you have no talent. One day, a minister at a church hired him to draw some cartoons. He was hired, rented, to draw some cartoons. Disney was working out of a small mouse-infested shed near the church. Near the church, a shed was that was fully filled with, infested with the mouse. So many mouse running here and there. After seeing a small mouse, he was inspired. He got inspiration. A small mouse jumping here and there. That was the start of Mickey Mouse. Immortal character Mickey Mouse. The origin was from this. Do you know the story of Harry Potter? Harry Potter, do you know? Sure, you might have heard or read some of the stories. See, that lady, she was not able to feed her child. Abandoned by her husband, not able to feed her child. She begged, even begged, and she wrote some stories. And went to the child on the roadside to sell the stories, small stories. She said that, I want to buy milk for my child, please buy it. I want to buy milk for my child. The child was there with her. Please buy it for my child's sake. I want to buy milk for my child. Please buy it, sir. Please, please, please. She was wandering on the roadside. And she got by chance she got the character. Something like, what is that, a devil or something. Okay, a supernatural character. And she began writing stories one by one. She became richer than the Queen of England. Do you know? Even now, she is so rich. Richer than the Queen of England. Yes. Learn something about her. You know Harry Potter and all now? Yes. Okay. So he was inspired. That was the start of Mickey Mouse. Successful people don't do great things. They only do small things in a great way. Underline that. They don't do anything so wonderful or great. They do. How do they do? Small things in a great way. Whatever you do, you must do in a great way. They do small things in a great way. Who? Successful people. They don't wait for great things to happen or great performance to do. They do small things in a great way. Underline that. Successful people don't do great things. They do small things in a great way. The story goes on. One day, a partially deaf, 4 years old child came home with a note in his pocket from his teacher. There was a note in his pocket written by his teacher. Your Tommy, your child, is too stupid to learn. He's a stupid boy. Get him out of school. Take him away. His mother read the note and answered, my Tommy is not stupid to learn. She has a confidence and she said, my child, my Tommy is not stupid to learn. I will teach him myself. I will teach him. Yes, parents should have confidence in their children. Surely. I will teach him myself. And that Tommy grew up to be the great Thomas Alva Edison, the scientist Thomas Alva Edison. So the teacher said that he is very stupid, too stupid to learn. He cannot learn. A stupid fellow, he is stupid boy. Take him away from the school. We don't want him to be here. And his mother said, no, my child is not a stupid boy. I will teach him myself. And he became one of the greatest scientists of all time, Thomas Alva Edison. This line very often given, my Tommy is not stupid to learn. And see, I will teach him myself. Whose words are these? Why did she say so? Etc. and etc. There can be 2-3 questions. Mark the important lines, please. So 1 or 2 lines will be given. You will be asked 2 to 3 questions. You know the question pattern. Okay now? Yes. Thomas Edison had only 3 months of formal schooling. Only 3 months of formal schooling. And he was partially deaf. He was partially deaf. Henry Ford forgot to put the reverse gear in the first car he made. Ford car, wonderful car now. You know it or you try to learn. Okay now, when he went for the first time, he forgot to put the reverse gear. Reverse gear not there. Suppose something happens, you cannot jump out and push it like now. Yes, it can happen. Failure can happen. Do you consider these people failures? We saw many examples. Do you think they are all failures? No. They succeeded in spite of problems. In spite of problems and difficulties, failures, etc., they were successful. They succeeded. Not in the absence of them. Not in the absence of them. Facing the failures, meeting with the failures, they were successful. But outside world, it appears as though they were just lucky. For the people outside, the outside world, they consider them as just lucky, that's all. They don't see the failure side of their life. All success stories are of great failures. Yes, that's our heading now. All success stories are stories of great failures too. Success stories are also stories of great failures. Yes. The only difference is that every time they failed, they bounce back. Get the lesson from the failure and move forward. They bounce back. They don't get disappointed and move back. They bounce back. Like a ball which is pushed to the floor, it will come back, Yes. Rubber ball you try once, the more forcefully you push down, the more powerfully it will be coming up. This is called failing forward, not failing backward. Failing forward. See, when you fail, get the lessons from the failure and move forward. Yes, that is a failing forward. Rather than backward. Forward, not backward. You learn and move forward. You have to learn lessons from the failure and move forward. Learn from your failure and keep moving. Underline that. You can underline 1,000 times. You can learn it for your life too. Yes. Learn lessons from the failures and keep on moving. Not getting disappointed. Not turning back. Only moving forward. Every failure will teach you a lesson. Learn lessons from the failures and move forward. Not at all move back or move backward. The story continues. In 1914, Thomas Edison, at the age of 67, lost his factory, which was worth a few $1 million. He lost his factory, which was worth millions of dollars, on fire. He had very little insurance, no insurance was there. No longer a young man, Edison watched his lifetime effort go up in smoke and said, he watched his lifetime effort, the entire factory on fire. He said, there is a great value in disaster. You see, why? All our mistakes are burned up. We thank God we can start anew. Yes, there is a lesson to be learned. Together with what is achieved is lost. Together with that, the failures also are lost. All mistakes are also lost. We can start anew. A new beginning we can make. In a way it is good, so that we can make a new beginning. In spite of the disaster, 3 weeks later, within 3 weeks, he invented the phonograph. What an attitude. The first lesson, your attitude decides your altitude. Is it not so? Attitude is altitude. The first lesson. Here again, what an attitude. Below are more examples of the failures of successful people. Number 1, Thomas Edison failed approximately 1,000 times while he was working on the light bulb. Number 2, Henry Ford was broken at the age of 40, broken down at the age of 40. Iacocca was fired by Henry Ford too at the age of 54. Fired means dismissed. Okay. Young Beethoven was told that he had no talent for music. Beethoven, the music samrat, he was told that he has no talent for music, but he gave some of the best music to the world. See, about Beethoven, there is some sad story also. See, halfway in his life, he lost his power to hear. For a man who loves music, sound is his everything. And becoming deaf means it is horrible thing now. Can you imagine how can a singer or a musician or a man who loves music can suffer when he becomes deaf, not able to hear the sweet sound of the nature. So he would walk into the forest and collect and get all the sweet sounds of nature and come back to his room and write. he composed wonderful music, wonderful orchestra he made. You see, he made several wonderful orchestras, isn't it so? Yes, he composed the music, and this thought was there with him forever in his life. And his last words were, I probably shall hear in heaven. That thought was there in his mind because he became completely deaf. Okay, so anyhow, that is not our story, simply told. Anyhow, young Beethoven was told that he had no talent for music, but he gave some of the best music to the world. Setbacks are inevitable in life. Setbacks is not so. Failures are inevitable, it's unavoidable. Failures are there. In a way, it is good that you meet with some failures too. Otherwise, when a real failure comes, you won't be able to withstand that. Suppose you have the experience of meeting with failures, you will have the courage and strength to face bigger failures. Otherwise, no, the one who always meets only with the success, when he really meets the failure, he would not be able to face that. You must have the experience of meeting with the failures and coming out successful, come out in flying colors. You must be able to. For that, you should have the experience of meeting with failures. Yes, setbacks are inevitable in life. A setback can act as a driving force. It can act as a driving force, encouragement, and also teaches humility. When you fail, you become humble. If you are always successful, you will never be humble. You will be proud because you are always successful. Okay, na? It will make you humble. Humility. The lesson of humility you will learn when you fail. Failure will teach you the lesson of humility, humble humility. What is humility and pride? The humility means, the feeling of humility means what? You are no better than others. Pride means what? You are greater than everybody else. You are greater than everybody else is the feeling of pride. It's a negative quality now. Say, you should be feeling pride that you are an Indian. That's another thing. It has a negative and positive meaning. Is it not so? You can say Abhimanam and Hangaram. Okay, now? You feel pride that you are an Indian. But don't be a proud person. That means having the feeling that you are above everybody else. Okay, now? Yes. So, the lesson of humility you will learn when you meet with the failures. Okay, now? Yes, we need to learn to become, see, where is that? Okay. A setback can act as a driving force and also teach us humility. You become humble by learning the lesson of humility. In grief, you will find courage. When you are in grief, you will find courage and faith to overcome the setback. You get the courage and faith to overcome such a setback or failure. We need to learn to become victors, not victims. Victors we should become from failures. Learn lessons and move on. Not become the victims of failures. Fear and doubt short circuit the mind. If you have a fear and doubt will short circuit. What is short circuiting? You know so. Yes, you should not have doubt. You should have confidence that you can overcome. You must have a confidence in you that you can overcome any kind of setbacks, any kind of failures. Ask yourself after every setback, what did I learn from this experience? Whenever you meet with a failure, ask yourself, what have I learned from this failure? Ask yourself, what have you learned from this setback? Only then you will be able to turn a stumbling block, means an obstacle, a difficulty. You can turn a stumbling block into a stepping stone. A great obstacle can be turned into a stepping stone of success. We are coming to the last part of our essay. The motivation to succeed comes from the burning desire to achieve a purpose. Underline that. The motivation to succeed comes from the burning desire. You must have the burning desire to achieve a purpose. Napoleon Hill wrote, whatever the mind of man can conceive, if your mind can conceive that, you see, and believe, the mind can achieve. Whatever your mind can conceive and believe, your mind can achieve. Yes, there is no obstacle. You can achieve whatever. If your mind can conceive that, if your mind can, believe, if you can believe, it is possible, it will be possible. If you can believe yourself and have the confidence that you can achieve it, surely you will achieve it. Whatever your mind can conceive and believe, you can surely achieve. No doubt you can achieve that. Yes, a young man asked Socrates, Socrates, the greatest philosopher. Okay, now? Yes. Now time to explain. So almost 40 minutes now. So I am not explaining. I will tell another time or in the class. Okay, now the story of Socrates. You see, a young man asked once the secret to success. He was asked by a young man, what is the secret of success? Socrates told the young man to meet him near the river the next morning. They met. Socrates asked the young man to walk with him toward the river. When the water got up to their neck, they are moving towards the river. In the river, you see, the water came up to their neck. Socrates took the young man by surprise and ducked him into the water. He took the man and pushed him into the water. The boy struggled to get out, but Socrates was strong and kept him there till the boy started turning blue. So he pushed him down into the water until he began feeling, nervous, and his color is going to change, etc., etc. Socrates pulled his head out of the water, and first thing the young man did was to gasp and take a deep breath of air. He was breathless. He took a deep breath of air. Socrates asked him, what did you want the most when you were there? What was the most important need when you were under the water? The boy replied, air. Socrates said, that is a secret to success. What does it mean? It means that when you want success as badly as you wanted air, which means deep desire for success, the most important thing is deep desire, burning desire. Then you will get it. Surely you will get it. When you want success as badly as you wanted breathing air, surely you will get it. There is no other secret. Which means you must have a burning desire if you are to be successful. For success, the most important thing required is a burning desire to get success. Next line. A burning desire is a starting point of all accomplishment. Underline that. A burning desire is a starting point of all accomplishments, means all achievement. Any kind of achievement, begins with a burning desire. Is a starting point. A burning desire is a starting point of all accomplishment or achievement. Just like a small fire cannot give much heat. Small fire can give only small heat. Big fire can give big heat. A weak desire cannot produce great results. A weak desire can never produce great results. So, a burning desire is a starting point of all accomplishment or all achievements. So, you must have a burning desire, deep desire if you are to succeed. So, we are winding up there because almost 43 minutes. Go through the lesson once again. Read the word meanings as well as the references given there. Once read. If there is a doubt remaining, I will surely clarify. Thank you for watching. Meet you with another lesson. Thank you.